Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. And I promise you, when I started or set up this flight earlier on, it was beautiful blue sky and a bit of cloud, and now it's gone a little bit murkier. Luckily, though, there was some really nasty fog here, and that just seems to have blown through in the last 10 minutes or so. So it's not looking too bad. But yeah, here we are. We're at Rhodes. This is just default Billy Basic Microsoft Flight Simulator Rhodes. Nothing special about it. And then we're going to be flying to Larnaca in Cyprus. I've just come back from Cyprus after a short visit there, which was really nice. And the weather was pretty good. Good enough to certainly go on the beach, get a bit of time on there. But so why the hell not? It's a grey, dreary day here today in Old Blighty, so why not make the most of it? And we've got a new Aerostar. It's the same registration. Don't forget, this is make-believe, folks. But this is the this is from the livery pack number 1, if you like, that A2A just released, and I rather like it. It's kind of a little bit old school, also a little bit modern, and I was kind of waiting for a repaint to come along that really kind of grabbed my imagination, and this is it. So that's what we are going to be using for the time being. Binky, how are you doing? I just suddenly realised I hadn't got the chat screen out, so we need to do that because I need to be able to talk to you guys. Because otherwise, a flight like this, there ain't a lot going on once you get in the air and you are en route. So I'm just going to move that around there. Yeah, cheers, Binky. Yeah, that Sky Raid is great fun. It really is. I had a lot of fun with that, and I think, as I said on the video, it's not. It's not. It doesn't necessarily run on rails, which is always a good thing. But there's enough there to have to practice and get into. So I quite like that. Right, let's get rid of that screen. Okay, so what else do I need to tell you? We're going to be using BeyondATC. I've got a Navigraph flight plan set up. It would be rather good if I showed you that, wouldn't it? So let's move that down there. I've got so many blooming screens open at the moment, it's ridiculous. There we go. So this is our route, nice and simple. It's a sim brief route, real world route, from Rhodes over here, and then we'll be chuntering along down here and coming into Larnaca. Simple, nice and easy. Okay, right. I need to get cracking with the flight, and I've just realised something. Bear with me. I'd play you some holding music, but it wouldn't be the same. There we go. My light had fallen off at the back. You got to have the light. Anyway, how are you all doing? I hope you are all well. We'll just do a quick couple of things to our Aerostar to get us going. Let's just remove the chocks at this stage, or remove it on that side. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's jump in. It's a new aeroplane, so we need to get a couple of things sorted out. Let's turn on the old head tracking. There we go. I think that mist might be coming back in, or maybe it's just on the hills there. Okay, so we'll do a quick check of the lights. So we'll have beacon, strobe, nav, won't worry about cabin at this point, and landing, and then we'll jump out again. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, we've got our port starboard, our strobe. We can see the rotating beacon under... Wrong button. Come back. There we go. You can see the rotating beacon. I love the animation of that, the way it kind of rocks backwards and forwards rather than just a simple rotating. There we go. Watch out for the EasyJet and the Ryanair. Our starboard lights working fine. Quick check around the back. Our rotating beacon on the fin is working just fine. And let's just quickly reach up. Oh, gotcha! There we go. Get rid of him. And yep, that light is working just fine. Okay, so we get back in, we'll turn all the battery and the lights off, and then we can do a proper quick check and get things going. I will catch up with the chat once I've got things moving, so we will get that down there. And do I need to do anything else? Parking brake set, so that's fine. Let's jump outside again. Right, so let's have a quick check around. We don't have any squirrels hiding in there, and the propeller looks to be in good condition. Let's check the oil. This is a brand new aircraft, as I say. I'm literally picking it up from Rhodes to fly it to Larnaca for a good old party down there to celebrate. Yeah, you can pretend, can't you? Okay, everything's looking fine there. Let's check the wing tank. Okay, that's nice and full. I have refueled the aircraft. Aileron is looking good. Oh, I tell you what I do need to do. Let's just drop the flap a little bit. There we go. Walk back around. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, flap's good and sturdy. Check the fuse tank. Yep, there'll be fuel in there. Wrong one. I keep doing that. I'm so out of practice using the walk around keys that I keep, instead of pressing C just to crouch, I keep pressing Shift C. Let's make sure we've got no contaminants. And let's have a look in you. It is busy here today. I have set summer schedule, and I have I've upped the traffic level here. I just wanted to see how the ATC behaved really, because last few flights that I've done, there's not been a lot kind of going on. Right, no squirrels in there, excellent. Quick check around the back, see how that's doing. Yeah, elevator's good, rudder is good. Tyre we had a look at when we were undoing that, so that's absolutely fine. We've removed the pitot heat flag. Flap sturdy. That's all good. There we go. Plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. And this one is always a little bit tricky to get to, so we have to kind of come around here, duck in there, pop up again, hello, and then have a look at our oil in here. Come on, click spot, there we are. And that's all good. And of course, being Accu-Sim, it simulates the colour of the oil as well as the level of it. So as the aircraft gets older, as we have more adventures with this aircraft, we'll see tyres are good, we will see the colour of that change. Which is all part of a living, breathing aircraft. Okay, so that's the outside bits and bobs done. Just quickly check the static ports just to make sure they are okay. I don't know why I'm ducking my head back. That's instinctive, isn't it? Okay, that's all good. Did I remove the chock from this side? I have a feeling I didn't. No, there we go. Cometh here. There we go. That's him out. Okay. Yeah, I love this repaint. Looks really nice. Very posh. Okay, let's jump in and a quick check of the chat. Oh, let's just lock this off while I do that, because otherwise it can get a bit annoying. Ghost Penguin, here is the man, the myth, the legend. I'm not sure about that, old chat. Okay, yeah, Binky, do you know what? I've not flown the B-17 since I made the initial video, so I know it's had a few updates, so I'm not sure quite what it's good, or quite what is good, and quite what's changed. Keith, I am new to your channel. Welcome. Hello, and would like to get my own game set up. Any advice? Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in the air, because that's probably a bit more complicated. and I'm sure people in the chat will probably have something to say about that as well. So, okay, right, let's get back into thinking about things mode. Okay, so let's close the door. No, wrong click spot. To close the door, we have to do that one, otherwise it just ejects us outside again. Yeah. Okay, that's a good. Quick check that the parking brake is set. Quick check of my physical controls. Yeah, they all seem to be connected up as they should be. Okay, so as we get things going, give me a shout and let me know if the sound levels are a little bit off. You know, if the engine noises are too loud and you can't hear me, although that might not be a bad thing, then please do give me a shout. Right, okay, so let's bring up the checklist. By the way, does anyone in the chat know, because I had a play with it and I couldn't find it. I've seen in some screenshots, and I should know this really, that in one of the more recent releases they found a way where you could attach the tablet to the yoke. Maybe I've imagined that, maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I cannot figure out for the life of me how to do it, because every time if I drag it over, it doesn't stick. So maybe I've just got it wrong. I don't know, but if there is a way and you know how to do it, give me a shout. Okay, let's just move you up there. There we go. Up you go. Right. So we will quickly check in with the engineers and see what they say. So we'll do a quick. So we've got 0 hours. This is it. This is a brand new aeroplane. You can almost smell it. Well, not quite. There we go. So everything's good there. I should hope so. I've just paid good money for this sunshine. I don't want no lemon. So that's a good. Let's check engine number 1. Excellent. And we'll have a look at engine number 2. Excellent. Engine analyzer is not going to do anything because we're not fired up at the moment, and the electrical system, we've got a good battery, which is nice to see, and otherwise that is all good. Okay, so happy with that. Just doing a quick think for myself. Advanced options, yep, so I've got the radio set correctly. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? I think otherwise... Yeah, well, I think otherwise we're good to go. And these are all set up. Bum, bum, bum. Excellent. Okay. Checklists. Pre-flight complete. We've had a look around. Passengers briefed. That's your seat there. Do not spill your crisps or your drink, please. It's a brand new aeroplane. But otherwise, strap in and enjoy the flight. I hope you've signed the obligatory insurance waiver. But don't worry, don't let that put you off. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. Seatbelts are secured. Cabin door is closed and locked. Battery ignition is off. I wonder if I just pull this back a little bit and do that. There we go. Battery ignition is off. Gear switch is down. Checking my physical control as well. Flaps I'll put into the up position. Brakes test for firm. Well, there we go. Yep, that's good. What do we get to? Flight controls free, and I'll get the head tracking back on now. So just it's actually quite hard to see. I can just see the static wicks there moving, so that's okay. But I have got full movement on there, and that's okay. Parking brake is set. Switches are all off. Or are they? Let's have a look. That doesn't really matter, but that should be off really. And otherwise everything else is good. Nothing to worry about up there. Right, now we can have the battery on, and I'm also going to put the beacon on because we're going to start whirring things around soon. Gear lock lights are green. Excellent. Elevator and rudder trim neutral. Yep, that's all good. Hydraulic shutoff is open, and that's here. So that's in the correct position. Fuel check, loads of fuel. We'll be drinking all the way to Cyprus. I don't know why I'm smiling at that. It's not really that clever. Low fuel warning is off. Circuit breakers are all in, and we do have to check those because this is Accu-Sim, and circuit breakers may not be in, which can cause you problem. That's the great thing about Accu-Sim. You never know when something's suddenly going to go wrong. Eek. Altimeter and clock. We're not going to check that just yet because once the engine has started, then we're going to get the ATIS, and then we can really get going. Okay, quick check of the chat because there's a lot of chat going on. Akute, how you doing? Good to see you. Kaiser Sausage, welcome. Matt, right click on the frame of tablet. Good God, sir. You're a genius. Thank you for that. Keith, when are you doing the next HEM stream? I'm not sure, mate. It might be next weekend, possibly. Might be next weekend. Sandman, hello to New Jersey. Look at that. Thank you so much, Matt, for that. That's rather cool. And we can just about see around everything. So yeah, that's brilliant. I like it. Thank you. Okay, so where do we get to before I start waffling? Right, we've done that. Engine starts. Right, prop fully forward. I'll do it for both. Mixture idle cutoff. Just check that. Yep. Throttle is cracked. Battery is on. Low fuel warnings are out. Quick check of that. Yep, that's all working. Low fuel warning is out. Fuel selector, cycle and listen. So I'll shut up while I do this. Thank God you say. There we go. So we can hear the actuators working there. Right, we've done that, and then so to start it, and I'm just reminding myself because it's been a couple of weeks, we go right fuel boost on, we then advance the mixture, we observe, we pull it back again, we then start, and then as the engine coughs up, we then put it back to full rich, we set for 1000 RPM, and we turn the fuel boost off. Okay, capiche, excellent. Right, let's do that. Let's have fuel boost on. Observe. 1, 2, 3, and back. That's it, sweetheart. There we go. That's all good. Let's set for 1000. There we go. And we can have the right fuel boost off now, and a quick check that everything else is looking good. Have a look over here. Yep, oil pressure's good. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got a good start on engine 2. Or the right engine. Well, I'm not in the helicopter now. Blah 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 blah, and gyro pressure is just on the south side of green, so that's okay. Okay, let's have the right alternator switch on, and now we can do the same for engine 1. So just got to lean over here behind the sorry, I was just listening to the engine and it sounded like it was winding down a little bit, but it's not. Okay, so engine 2, fuel boost, let me get the right lever, fuel boost on, observe, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Wrong button, you pellet. Come on. There we go. That's all good. Bring it back to 1000 RPM. Blubbing marvellous. Let's have fuel boost off. Let's have alternator on. And let's lean the engines just for ground ops. Okay, so that's all good. So we've done that. We've done the left engine. Absolutely fine. We can warm up at 1000 RPM, which is what we're doing. Prop is fully forward, mixture's rich, no, because I'm leaning it and we're not doing the run up yet, so we can come on to that. Right, let's have all the bits and bobs on. And through here. I need to load my flight plan. Something else I will do.
TOS system test OK.
Let's just update that. Okay. Right, flight plan. I'm going to pop that there. It's so much easier now that we've got crossfill with these. Let me just lock that off there, and then I can have a look up here. Okay. So manual, catalog, manual, import, and where have you gone? There it is. LGRP to LCLK. That's all good. Okay. Activate. Replace current active route. Yes. We're going to load in our procedures now. Hopefully, because the weather's moving around, it hasn't changed too much, but we're on a Vane 2B departure. Just check runway 6, yes, and transition is Vanes. It is. Okay, so we've got that set up, and then our arrival is set to be a Bone 1 Alpha. Bone 1 Alpha with a transition at Bonik. Runway 04 it looks like we're going to be. Transition is Bonek, so that's all good. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Sorry for all the technical use of language there. I know not everyone understands blah, 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 but that's all good. Okay, and we've got a good crossfill there. So that is done. So flight plan is loaded. I'm just talking to myself here to just check I've done anything. Flight plan is loaded. That's all good. Now we need to run over and get the ATIS. So I'm getting my BeyondATC window up now, and let's just tune the radio. So ATIS is 130.255. 30255. Transfer.
06 Zulu. Wind 135 at 5. Thunderstorms. Few clouds at 1000.
Thunderstorms.
Few clouds at 1600. Ceiling 2000 broken. Temperature 18. 2.14. QNH 1008. Rain. Landing and departing runway 24. Transition level 070. Temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Diagoras. Advise on initial contact you have information whiskey.
Okay, that's interesting. So already our
Diagoras Airport information whiskey.
we're already deviating from the flight plan. So when I ran SimBrief, which would have been probably about an hour or so ago, it was saying 06 would be takeoff, but now we're saying 24. So when I get the clearance, we're going to get a different departure, I would think. So we've done that. Let's tune to, just check that there's no specific clearance. No, let's tune to ground and get our clearance and see what they give us. 121.705. Okay. Diagoras, there we go. Oh, let's just check what ramp 52. Okay. Ramp 52. Diagoras ground, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on ramp 52 with information whiskey. Request IFR clearance. I wrote W, but was that it?
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Niagara's ground. Thanks for information, Whiskey.
Okay.
Expect runway 24, Vanes 2 Alpha departure. Initial climb to 6,000 feet. Squawk 1251.
Okay, that's interesting. So we have got a change. There we go. Expect runway 24, Vane 2 Alpha departure. Initial climb to 6,000 feet. Squawk 1251. Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, so we've got the QNH in. What are we? 1251. By the way, you've probably realised this by now, but I do these for practice. I'm kind of learning the ropes. This isn't a tutorial or anything like that, so I could well make mistakes. It's highly likely, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so what have we got? Runway 24, a Vane 2 Alpha departure now. So I need to change that over here. Come on, where are you? Vane 2 Alpha on runway 24. Okay, so that's good. And then we're going to do the same here. I'm going to go into procedures and I need to change that to A2 Alpha off runway 24, and that is absolutely fine. Okay, nice and simple. Was the last words he said. Okay, quick check of the chat. Blimey. Keith, yeah, the HEMS mod you can only use with PC because there's a little piece of software. I pressed the wrong button. I was going to talk to ATC then, which I didn't want to do. There's a separate piece of software called the Hype Operation Center, which is used to run things. So you would need to have that. Set up. Right, let's move you over there. Let's get rid of you. We'll have nav. Gonna have pitot heat on. Everything else is fine. What I will do actually is let's.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel on our way to Stansted Airport.
Okay, good for you. Okay, so.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel, Niagara's ground. Expect runway 24, Codic 2 Alpha departure. Initial
I'm going to
climb
do a run up.
6,000 feet.
I don't want to get in the way of anybody, so I'm going to do a run up.
Codic 2 Alpha departure.
We'll do a run up here, I think. Once we're pointing to wind a little bit.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel.
Okay.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start. Wilco, Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel.
Digress ground, Golf Mike Sierra ready for taxi to the active.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel. Ramp for 4, request pushback and engine start. Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Runway 24 taxi via Alpha.
Runway 24 taxi via Alpha, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay. Let's release the parking brake.
Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel.
Brakes are good.
Ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face east. Pushback approved. Face east. Ryanair 7 for Gulf Hotel.
I always forget, when I've been away from the Aerostar for a little while, I always forget that you have to use the switches to steer it as an aircraft on arrival. Right, there's nothing coming, so I'm going to do a quick sneaky run-up check here.
All aircraft be advised information X-ray now current. QNH1008.
Okay, that's good. That's still fine. Okay, so we've warmed up and everything is fine there, so that's good. Prop is fully forward. Mixture is rich. I've got my feet on the brakes, throttled to 1500 RPM. Check the engine instruments, they're all good. Alternator check for 28 volts. Yeah, that's all good. Throttle set for 2100 RPM. And cycle, where do we go? Throttle set to 2000, cycle 1000 RPM to max times 4.
Taxi at pilot's discretion.
2.
Ryanair 7
Great.
Golf Hotel. Taxi for departure.
Ryanair 7-4 Golf Hotel. Runway 24 taxi via Alpha.
There we go, and we'll do a quick mag check.
Taxi via Alpha. Ryanair 7 for Golf Hotel.
Good. Good. Get your head round the corner, sunshine. It's a little bit tricky getting the... Oh, there we go. Good. Good. Don't want to mess around with that. And gyro pressure is good. Let's bring it down. There we go. Okay, so we've got Ryanair now on the move. I'm going to have to sit behind him. But this is interesting. This is the first time I've ever been on BeyondATC where I've actually had other traffic that I'm having to sit behind. Don't want to get too close. He's got some big engines on there. Weather's, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's definitely some spicy weather over there. But at least we've got...
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Hold position for traffic. I'll call you back.
Hold position for traffic, Golf Mike Sierra. I think you're a little bit late with that, sunshine. I suspect that would have been a call that we would have had earlier on, maybe. And I've never been told to hold position before, so this could be interesting. See how far we get. Actually, this is a good time to get rid of my camera there, isn't it? There we go. Now you can see a bit more of the what's going on the screen. So while I'm doing that, let's have a quick look. I'll put the flaps position to neutral. Everything else is looking good. Okay.
Ryanair 7-4 Golf Hotel. Contact Diagra's Tower 118.2.
Contact Tower 118.2. Ryanair 7 for Golf Hotel. Have a good day.
Oh, ground. Can we move, please? While I remember, let's put that onto GPSS. So just very quickly, the autopilot in this, in case you don't know, it works slightly differently. We've got a brand spanking new, up-to-date GPS system there with the GTN-XI, and then we've got an old-school Sentry 4 autopilot, and the two don't necessarily work together without some kind of a translator, which is what the GPSS box does, and basically it converts what's coming out of the GPS into something that the Sentry 4 can understand. So in effect it will just follow the magenta line. Simples.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Continue taxi.
Continuing taxi, Golf Mike Sierra. About time. There he goes. Runway's obviously still a bit wet.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Contact Diagra's Tower 118.2.
Contact tower on 118.2 Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, let's just bring us to a hold. There we go. And wrong one. 118.2. Diagorist Tower, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, holding runway 24, ready for departure.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Diagorist Tower, wind 195 at 6, runway 24, cleared for takeoff.
Copy the winds and clear for takeoff, runway 24, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, so before takeoff checklist, cabin door closed and locked, controls are free, mixture going fully forward now, fuel selectors are on, blah 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 blah, prop is fully forward, boost pumps now need to go on again, and there we go, and radios are set, flaps we're not going to use, trim is good, happy with those, pitot heat is on, and parking brake, yep, that's all good. Okay, so I'm going to now, let's get rid of you, landing lights are on, strobe light is on because we're about to take the active, quick check of what's going on. Remember, it's a switch, doesn't matter how much I stamp on that rudder pedal, it ain't gonna turn. Okay. Now I just quickly need to check what was our initial climb, 6,000 feet. There we go. 6,000 feet, and the transition level is 070. Okay, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Blowy there. Positive rate decline, gear up. Really have done that on the ground. Do you know what else I've just realised? Billy Basic check that I should have done was checking the HSI against the whiskey compass. And that, my friends, is what happens when you get lazy. I'm so used to flying the Aerostar with that slaved that I've got into the very bad... Hold that thought. Contact Rhodes departure 127.25 Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, let's just calm everything down a bit. There we go. Bum.
Ryanair 7 for Golf Hotel. Contact Athens Control 135.875. Center on 135.875. Ryanair 7 for Golf Hotel.
Rhodes departure, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, climbing to 6,000 feet on the Vane 2 Alpha departure. Should have said what I was passing through, I suppose, shouldn't I?
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Rhodes departure identified. Climb to flight level 100.
Climb to flight level 100, Golf Romeo Mike Sierra. Missed out the Delta. Meant to just say Golf Mike Sierra. You will find, by the way, that I tend to talk to myself. When I make mistakes, I'm kind of, as I said a little bit before, these are very much training flights for me. So when I do something silly like that, I will say to myself what I should have done. It helps. Okay, let's just... So we're not quite past transition level yet, so I'm just leaving that as it is for the time being. Much nicer up here, as it always is. Let's get the blower on, fan on, and we'll just check that. I'll come back to that and check that in a bit. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable and you're not getting too cold. Let's have some trim. You can see we've got a warning coming up on the cylinder head temperature over there, because we're belting it up in the climb. Just heading towards a rather large cloud. I will catch up with the chat, by the way, once I've had a chance to get us on track. Bit more trim. Straight into the cloud, wallop. Watching the speed there. Now in the Aerostar we can't lean in the climb, so those engines are so tightly packed that there ain't much wiggle room in it. Right, we can now go to, and I did hear him. There we go, so we're on standard barometric pressure. Contact Athens Control 135.875 Golf Mike Sierra. Let's keep that climb in. Right, what is it? 135.875. 135.875. Athens Control, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, climbing to flight level 100, passing flight level 080.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Athens Control, identified, climb to flight level 110.
Climb flight level 110, Golf Mike Sierra. Interesting. Of course, we have no oxygen on this aircraft, so I'm hoping they're not going to climb us any higher than that. Normally, I tend to find that they climb us to about 090. So this is interesting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a few quick checks. We're in GPS there. I've got GPSS there. We're in heading mode, which is what we need to be for this little particular autopilot setup to work. I'm in attitude there, which I'm happy with. And now let's autopilot. Now that's interesting. Oh, of course.
118.25.
There we go. I'm just adjusting the pitch.
118.25.
There we go.
580.
So there's no altitude capture on this autopilot. It's literally you have attitude control and then you have altitude maintaining. Simple as that. Right, let's lock off that. We can have the landing lights off now and we'll have the heat on. Quick check of that. That's all good. Happy with those. How are we over here? All our instruments are fine. We're still in the climbs, so I'm not going to lean just yet, although I would dearly love to. Actually, let's just give it a bit more. Get a little bit close to our VY than we are at the moment. There we go. Okay, so I will. Here we go. Well, you can. I was going to show you on the Navigraph, but you can actually see it here quite nicely. So we're coming up to this waypoint here, Vanes, and then we've got to come back round and back round on ourselves, and then start heading off towards Cyprus. So that's really what that is doing. I will show you on here actually. Why the hell not? So this is it. We've taken off from Rhodes. We're flying on the departure here to Vanes, and then we will flip round and we will carry on down to Cyprus. C'est simple, as they say, or not in these parts because they don't speak French in Greece, although some places might. French restaurants, for example. Shut up. What am I talking about? Okay, so quick check of where we are. I have got GPSS set. We are following the flight plan on the GPS, so that's all good. And we are coming up to our altitude. So at this point, we will turn off that. I'm going to turn off attitude. Just waiting. And we'll go altitude. There we go. Might need to adjust it a little bit. And that is essentially us now at our cruising, hopefully our cruising altitude. As I say, I don't really want to go any higher. What we can do to fine tune it is there's a button on the yoke, which is the kind of an attitude override, and we can just use that sometimes to adjust. So I could put it back into attitude mode. I could then hand fly it onto 110, flight level 110, and then we could hold it there. But that's pretty good. It's pretty close. So we're doing our turn now. Let's just zoom in. There we go. There's our turn. Let's have a quick look over here, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, that's all good. I can start leaning now, which is marvellous. So I'm not going to use the engine digital display for this. I'm going to do it the old school way, which is listening and looking at the EGTs on it. Again, remembering this is a living, breathing aircraft. So that's a good. We're established where we should be.
Sky Travel 2214. Contact Rhodes approach 118.25.
Contact Rhodes approach 118.25. Sky Travel 2214.
I'm just selecting it so I can just keep the EGT in view. still ever so gently. Okay. So a quick check around. That's the most we're going to get out of the manifold pressure now. We've got throttles wide open, but we're only getting 20 at this altitude. RPM is in a kind of a fast cruise configuration, and we've got our mixtures rich. Quick check around of everything else. That's all good. Let's see how because I just kind of pulled these out at a random state, but let's see how 18 degrees. Not particularly good, but it is warming up. I'm just going to pull those out a little bit more. There we go. So we can check our cabin temperature nicely. Let's go over to maintenance. Let's have a look at the engine analyzers. So at the moment we're not in the leanest position we could be in from an economy point of view. If I mean, this is a great way to learn how this aircraft operates, by the way, and also how engines and things work, if you're new to it. But as I bring the mixture levers down, you see it's going green. That indicates that we're now in best economy mode. So it kind of gives you all these kind of indications. As I say, great way to learn. Okay, let's get rid of you. I love that. It's much better having it clamp onto the yoke. Okay, quick look around. Everything is good. Everything is looking all right. Yeah, it's silly about that. Checking the HSI is such a basic thing, isn't it? And got so lazy just having that slave button that I hadn't done it. Not good. Let's have a pop outside. Beautiful day. It is lovely above the clouds, and I love this repaint. It does look very smart. Okay, right, let's catch up with the chat. Just going to lock that off there. Nope, nothing's been said since then. You've all gone quiet. I hope you're all still there. Otherwise it gets a bit lonely up here. Anyway, how is everyone doing? What are you flying at the moment? I'm really excited about the FS Reborn Phenom, or Phenom, depending on where you come from. Really excited about that coming out. I think it's next year. I don't like glass cockpit, and I'm not a tube liner fan either. But there's something about that aircraft that's made me think, do you know what, I'm going to learn glass cockpit, get used to using that. I think it's the Prodigy, isn't it, system that it uses in the Phenom. Yeah, learn that, and we will just have the ability to get places a little bit further, a little bit quicker. Just to mix it up a bit, because I'm conscious that I don't really do much jet work on the channel, and I know that some people do like that, so we'll have to keep that going. Akratai, thank you, there's someone there. I'm guessing everyone's just very chilled out. I can see there's quite a lot of people viewing. This scenery does look rather lovely. Something I'm going to do, and I forgot to do it when I set this up, is I'm going to turn on the Atmos, Rex Atmos, so you can see the difference. One thing I will warn about is that whenever I suddenly turn it on, I do tend to find that suddenly it looks quite dull, but then you get used to it, and actually then it looks realistic. So let's turn that on. So that should come through any second. Let's see. There he goes. So first, whenever I switch that on initially, I think, oh my lord, it's like you've suddenly put sunglasses on. But then you get used to it and you think, actually, yeah, that does look pretty cool. I don't know, what do you think? Flying the V-tail. Oh, I love. Do you know what? Oh god, it gets boring saying the same thing over and over again. But I do hope that one day A2A bring their Bonanza V-tail to this sim. That was my favourite GA aircraft in P3D. I flew it for a VA just on little taxi routes, and it was my favourite GA hands down. Really loved it. I used it a lot more than I did the Comanche actually, but I know the Comanche because Scott, who owns A2A, owns the Comanche. It's more of a labour of love for him, but yeah, V-tail is such a beautiful design, really nice looking aircraft. Let's have a quick look how things are going. So yeah, weather is looking a little bit choppier than I thought it might initially. There's some pretty hefty cloud over there, and I guess that's where the thunderstorms were that it was reporting before. Interested to see how things are when we get to Cyprus. As I said at the start, I was over in Cyprus earlier in the week, and we were expecting you know, not brilliant weather, but actually it was really good. We ended up on the beach, which we weren't expecting, and there was a bit of rain overnight, one night, and there was a little bit of cloud, but you know, it was actually really nice. Temperatures were about 24, 25, so cannot complain. Oh, there was a streak of lightning just there. Glad we're above that. And interesting, looking now at the Navigraph display. They've changed the runway at Diagoras. They've changed it now. It's gone back to the other way. So that's how iffy the weather is today. It's obviously kind of chopping around a bit. Should really be listening to the ATC a little bit more. Kaiser Sausage, my Comanche is currently binned as some idiot forgot the two-stage gear switch. Yeah, I've not done it. I've not done it in MSFS because I think I've got my. I think I set the switch to work with my honeycomb two-stage switch, but I remember in P3D. Quite a few times forgetting that if I hadn't flown the Comanche for a while, forgetting that three-stage landing lever, and then all of a sudden wallop. It all went wrong. The Caribou. Do you know what? It's interesting you mentioned that. The Caribou was an aircraft that I bought. I should turn the camera back on now, shouldn't I, now that we're in the air? The Caribou was an aircraft that I bought because everyone was saying it's amazing, oh it's really good, oh you've got to get it, it's a fantastic aircraft, and I bought it, and I've never actually completed a flight in it. I started it up and flown a few circuits. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by a line. What on earth is that? Is that one of those awful... I bet it's one of those tile lines that you get in water sometimes in the sim. It seems to be showing through the clouds. Odd. Yeah, I did a couple of circuits in it, but it didn't float me boat, so I haven't used it since. But I know a lot of people loved it. There's another one of those lines there. So frustrating that Asobo can't sort out these lines that you get in water. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a tile. There's a line going towards this. If I angle my head, there's a line going towards the centre of the screen from the left-hand side, and then at right angles because it's a tile going off the other way. And it's just one of those, when everything else looks so amazing and so realistic, it's just one of those little kind of immersion killers, which is a little bit unfortunate.
982 X-ray. Contact anchor control 119.3.
Center on 119.3, easy 982 X-ray.
That's a nice view. Right, let's have a quick check, see how things are. Fuel flow's good. Fuel's good. No issues with anything there. It's the wonderful thing about Accu-Sim is it does keep you on your toes. This is not one of those aircraft where you can just whack it onto autopilot and then go and eat your dinner, because you never quite know. You never quite know what's going to happen. Let's check your temperature. 23 degrees and holding, so that's good. That's kind of roundabout, possibly a little bit too warm for some, but that's good. That's holding where it is. So we've got the outside air temperature of 5 degrees, but inside we're toasty at 23 degrees centigrade. Marvellous. Oh, look at that, and a 45 knot crosswind component at the moment. That's interesting. All good. That line needs to go. There's another one now. It's funny, isn't it? It's been there ever since it was there in 2020 as well, I'm sure. I know. And it just seems to be something that Sobo have never been able to sort out. There's a whole thread of it on the forum, people talking about it. But I guess it must just be the way that the sim works that you can't fix it, I guess. But it looks a bit pants, especially when it shows through the clouds. See more of them over there, actually looking out over the sea where the reflection of the sun on the water, you've got the lines there. I want to say, is it something to do with mesh or something like that? I can't remember. Someone did stick a theory out there. Clouds do look pretty amazing though. I used to do quite a bit of flying like this for my VA. When I used to fly for the VA, I used to fly King Air quite a bit, and there's some videos on the channel. And what I used to do, this was in my pre-kind of streaming days, just when I was making and uploading videos. I'd do a flight like this for the VA at the weekend, and I'd have on the screen up here, I'd have like I'd be watching YouTube videos or something like that, just to pass the time. Because otherwise, doing this kind of flying, this is the kind of flying that I don't do a lot of, where it's that kind of really kind of grown-up stuff, flying a flight plan, and you know, sitting at autopilot. For a while. I've just noticed, yeah, we do need, what was it? What was it? I think we're at the wrong altitude. Yeah, climb to flight level 110. suddenly having a brain fart. I am having a brain fart. I'm now questioning myself. So that is actually, we're at flight level 110. Yeah, blimey, absolute brain fart there. Do you ever have that where you're suddenly, it's almost like you start overthinking something, and you start questioning everything, and you think, hang on a minute. But yeah, there we go. Everything else is looking good. Yeah, so the Phenom or Phenom should be great fun. I'm quite excited about, and I never thought I'd say these words. Quite excited about learning the ropes with a glass cockpit, and also having something that's like a rocket ship. And the Phenom 300 is that kind of nice. It's that kind of like that Goldilocks jet, because it's not tiny, and it's not too big, and it goes like a rocket, and it should be good fun for doing you know, kind of flight like this really. Get there a bit quicker. Got a ground speed of 204 knots with this. That's got the character though, hasn't it? And God, you got to love the steam gauges. Can't beat those.
Not very busy tonight, eh?
Look, I'm not complaining.
Indeed.
I've never heard that before. I've no idea who said that, but on the ATC channel, I presume you heard that. Let me know. Can you hear the ATC, by the way? Someone said not very busy tonight, eh? That was an aircraft. The tower said, look, I'm not complaining, and the aircraft said, indeed. So that's some cheeky little pilot having a chat with ATC. There's more of those bloody tiles. Might as well be towels. Weird, isn't it? Not seeing anything out that window. I'll take a screenshot of that, but honestly, it hardly seems worth it, because there's so many people posting screenshots of that kind of stuff and nothing's been done about it, so it does kind of make you wonder, what is the point? Check on our systems. Like I said, Accu-Sim will bite you on the arse, so we need to make sure that is all good. Everything's fine. Now, if this was a traditional upload video, this would be the bit where I say, well, nothing much is happening in cruise, so we'll come back when things start to happen. But as this is a live stream, I can't do that. We're stuck with the emptiness of the ocean. Matt, I believe you may have left the fuel boost pumps on. I think you may be right. Well spotted. Well spotted. There you go. And that's what checklists are for, and that's why you should always use them, and I didn't. I took off, was concentrating on ATC, concentrating on flying the departure, and totally forgot about turning off the blooming fuel pumps. Remembered to turn off the landing lights, but not the fuel pumps. So thanks for the shout, Matt. Much appreciated. This is why we need co-pilots. It would be kind of cool to do shared cockpit in something like this. It's only a little aeroplane, but it would be kind of cool. You can get BeyondATC to do the radios for you, but I don't know. I think it kind of breaks the realism a little bit. Apologies for the yawn. Far too chilled out on a Saturday. Let's move you up there. Yeah, fuel pumps is one of those things that it's so simple, and I always remember it. If I'm just fart-arsing around, I always remember it because I'm not concentrating on ATC or flying a SID. But it's the kind of thing that when I'm concentrating on flying something a bit more complex, it's a little thing that I can remember, I can forget, but I should remember as part of you know, flows and using checklists. So there really is no excuse. After the flight, I shall give myself a very stern talking to, believe me. Let's have a quick look outside. It's a lovely repaint. I know I keep saying it. There's the sea. Anyone for a swim? Matt, yeah, I like to have a read of the checklist in cruise. Actually, do you know what? That's a bloody good point, isn't it? I mean, for a start, you should be. I should have been using it anyway, but there's no reason why once you're in the cruise and things have calmed down a bit that you can't have a quick look and just check that you haven't missed anything in your flows and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, good point. Very good point, Matt. You're obviously a professional, old boy. Navian 6, speaking business jets, I'd love a good Challenger. Yeah, I think the Challenger's bigger than the Phenom 300, isn't it? I'm not interested in big airliners. Not interested in them at all. But a nice kind of study level bizjet is quite interesting, and I just think the Phenom looks absolutely wonderful. Sparky, do not tease me like that. Oh, how's the pub? I've said it before, I don't drink much. I don't drink spirits, but I love Guinness. And I've got a 4-pack of draft Guinness sitting in the fridge. Drink responsibly, folks. Are you meant to say that kind of stuff? I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to one of those tonight. That will be good. Yeah, oh, a bit of land over there. Where are we now? Castellarizo. Probably absolutely butchered the pronunciation of that. But that is what we're looking at just over there. It is very quiet on the old ATC, isn't it? There's another one of those bloody square box things. Grrr. I guess because I don't do a huge amount of flying over water, I don't notice it so much, but I've never seen so many of them on this flight. It's not too bad looking that way, although there's one. But certainly on the landward side of the aircraft we're seeing more of it, so maybe that's part of it. Wait for the FA50 from Contrail. It's going to be the best bizjet to get. I'm not. I must admit, Sparky, I've not even heard of that one. But I tend not to. I tend not to keep my eyes open too far. But I am looking forward to the FS Reborn Phenom 300 when that comes out next year. FA50, is that the Falcon? Is that the 3-engine job? Stop looking at the lines, it's only going to irritate you. Look at the screen. There we go. Just passing a beam LGKG. LGKJ even. Yeah, cool. There was one of those in P3D, wasn't there? I never bought it, but that was another one of those aircraft that everyone said you've got to get, it's really good. It's quite steam gaugey, isn't it? So really that should appeal to me. I was never really taken by the looks of it, if I'm honest. I'm a little bit shallow when it comes to aircraft. Like the Phenom is really, in my eyes, really pretty. Looks great. Looks the business. Whereas the Falcon doesn't quite tick the boxes for me. But I know that the P3D simulation of it was really good. Interesting. I'm just checking. Yeah, it is. It is. I use an Xbox type controller for the to do cameras and that sort of thing. And sometimes, even though it's got a dead zone on it, it just seems to go a little bit haywire. And the view was gradually doing that. A rainbow. We could play I Spy, couldn't we? Yeah, it does sparky. I'm looking forward to that. Should be good. Oh, I wish I was really flying to Cyprus today. How wonderful it would be to park one's aeroplane at Larnaca, hop in a cab, head off down to some nice taverna in a village somewhere, some cold Chios, a nice meze, and watch the sun go down. Actually, the sun would have gone down by then, of course, because it's winter now, isn't it? So you'd be eating your dinner outside in the dark, basically. But that'd be fine. That'd be fine. The atmosphere would still be there. Unless you had an early dinner. Shut up. There is no way I could ever fly airliners. I think it's incredible. We talked about this before, actually. The wonderful thing about flight sim is that there is so much. I'm just going to lock that off. There is so much that we can do in them If you follow the channel, you know that I love to do search and rescue and HEMS in the H145 helicopter stuff. We can do simple GA flights, or you can do this sort of thing where it's a little bit more technical, or you can go to the extreme and you can fly a big airliner and you can have, you know, ground services, and you can do all those sorts of things. But I must admit, I've never quite fancied the airliner thing. To do that, to do this kind of thing a lot, where the aircraft is on autopilot and you're flying over sea, you know, there's not a lot to do, especially flights that, I mean, this isn't a particularly long flight, but if we were doing, say we were flying UK to Cyprus in the Airbus, so you've got a 4.5 hour, 5 hour flight, I think that would probably do my head in. People who are watching, let me know in the chat if you fly tube liners regularly, so your Airbuses, your Boeings, that kind of thing. If you fly them regularly, and what do you do when you're en route? Clean answers only. But what do you do? Oh, Sparky, the 146 Professional. That's another one, mate. That's another one. That's another one that everyone said to me, you've got to get the 146 Professional. And I never did. And people said, but you'd love it. It's kind of, it's not a big beast like the 737s where you're going to be doing long distance, doing nothing. It's you know, it's almost almost like a little regional jet, isn't it? Where you can do shorter flights, so there's more action, there's more to do. It's steam gauge, it flies really nicely, and I still haven't bought it. But people said I should, so I'm obviously missing out on that. I've never heard a bad word said against that 146. Quite the contrary, people always say how amazing it is. But yeah, it's I've never bear with me a sec. Never really done anything with airliners. I did get the PMDG DC-6 in 2020, but again, I never flew it. But beautiful aeroplane, love it, and you know, the cockpit and the steam gauges, and you know, it's all there. But I just never really flew it because I didn't have any use for it. Does it? I usually watch a stream or two depending on length of flight. Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of like I was saying before when I was flying for the VA on short regional. Even then I'd be watching things on YouTube or whatever. Oh. Contact Nicosia radar 124.2 Golf Mike Sierra. We finally got something to do. I can talk to someone. 124.2. There we go. Nicosia radar, Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, level at flight level 110. Tell me a story, Nicosia radar. Can you guys hear the ATC, by the way? Navion, if I fly a tube liner, it's normally a regional jet like the CRJ. I don't like doing flights over 2 hours. Yeah, I don't get a huge amount of flying time, so yeah, the idea of you know, doing anything over 3-4 hours. I mean, I know people will literally they'll spend the whole day doing a tube liner flight from start to finish with loading the catering on and all that kind of stuff, but that would absolutely do my head in. Sparky, at study level, steam gauges, and you can go old school and just fly bots. Kind sausage, too many procedures to learn, then sit and do nothing for a few hours. Yeah, yeah, that's actually, yeah. It's that kind of hurry up and wait thing, isn't it? You have those frantic things at the beginning where you're flying a departure or getting everything set up or doing whatever, and then suddenly like this, you're wishing that there really was a flight attendant who could suddenly bring me a sandwich and a coffee. Yeah. Mike West, I just do regional European destinations, 2 to 3 hours max, the odd long distance. Yeah, I guess 2 to 3 isn't too bad, is it? 2 to 3 hours is kind of doable. I would imagine you're having to spend a bit more time on the ground kind of setting it up, but yeah, I don't know, maybe one day, maybe when I retire, who knows what we'll have for flight sims then, but maybe when I retire, you know, and I've got more time, that might be something potentially, who knows. But there's a big difference between flying warbirds and flying helicopters around mountains and then just sitting there like this with the sea and the autopilot and not a lot going on. Still, we got to talk to ATC then. Let's have a quick check. Let me show you where we are. So we're over here, heading deeper out to sea, I guess, but with the promise of Cyprus up ahead. There we go. And then we'll hop in a taxi, we'll come round to Larnaca, and we'll hit the strip. And I mean the road with the clubs in it, before anyone starts thinking I meant something else. It ain't that kind of flight. There we go. Okay, just remember to put that back on there. Rob, don't push tin. That's a film, isn't it? Isn't there a film, Pushing Tin, about air traffic controllers with that fella in it who was, God, he was in a lot of stuff in the 80s. Am I imagining that? What was that called? I'm sure it's Pushing Tin, and it's the guy who was in my lord, it's gone. It's gone. Frustrating, that. Right, let's have a quick check of everything. Engine's all good. Fuel is absolutely fine. We've got a ton of fuel on board. Everything else is looking good. That's it. John Cusack. That's it. Thank you, Akritai. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. John Cusack. I can't even remember what that film is about. I vaguely remember in the early 90s when I was on an air traffic course, people talking about it, but I'm not sure actually. I might be getting it confused with something else because I'm not sure what year it came out. I can't even tell you what it's about. Billy Bob Thornton. Okay. Talking to Billy Bob Thornton, is anyone watching Landman? That's a good. That is a good series. I've watched series 1. I haven't watched series 2 yet. Me and the missus is inclined to binge watch things sometimes, and that's on our binge watch list. So I haven't watched any of series 2, but it's good. Okay. I was just saying air traffic is all I remember, and some drama in their lives. Interesting. We've got a speedbird up here. Now, I'm interested that I don't seem to be... I don't feel like I'm getting much in the way of regional accents. So I'm just checking... okay, that's strange. My BeyondATC, so it's updated itself, but it's got the Billy Basic voices. So let's change that. So we're going to have premium, because I've paid for that, and I'll keep the... Okay, let's turn everything up. So we should get the premium voices coming through now. See what happens. Yeah, Taylor Sheridan has... he's just so prolific, isn't he? I mean, Yellowstone, I must admit, I struggle with. Never really kind of got that, although, God, I love the scenery, and I would love to live on a ranch in the middle of nowhere and fly helicopters. What else has he done? Oh, what is it? The King of something? He's done Tulsa King, and then he's done Mayor of something, hasn't he? Which is the one about the prison area. But yeah, he just keeps churning out the really good stuff. Aquitaine, 1999. Oh, that's definitely not the film that I'm thinking of then. Bad Santa. Yeah, it's a good film. Good film, Sparky. I might have to check that, Aquitaine. Might have to have a look at that. Maybe it's worth looking. Mayor of Kingstown, there you go. That's it. That's it. My wife and I watched the first episode, but she wasn't really into it. So, but it's on my list to catch up on. Yeah, Yellowstone. I just couldn't get into, and I don't know why. It just didn't. I guess I didn't care about any of the characters in it, maybe. But the scenery and everything in there is really nice. I do need to give it another try. Ah, Sicario, that's a good one. Hang on a minute. Is there a series of Sicario? I'm thinking of the films. But have they done a series now of Sicario? Because that's a whole different kettle of fish. Quick check of everything. Yep, engines are good. Behaving themselves. Like I said before, this is Accu-Sim, so you could never get complacent because you never quite know what's going to happen. Let's, because there's nothing else to do, let's just check on the temperature of the cabin for you. It's saying 26 down there, so it is getting a little bit too hot. So it's not showing that temperature's rising on here, but obviously it has gone up by a couple of degrees, so I'm just going to pop that in. And just see if we can arrest that that temperature rise. We've got a 37 knot crosswind, 5 hours, well, nearly 6 hours endurance actually. Ground speed is 214 knots. So we are moving along at a fair old pace. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I love the films. Films are very good. Something else that's really kind of neat about the Aerostar is the build-up of dirt as we fly. When we get to Larnaca, we'll definitely have to get someone to give the aircraft a clean. It's just a nice little feature again that makes you feel that you are owning an aircraft. It's you know, something that's a little bit more tangible, something that's got life in it. That's what it's about. It's actually like the Comanche. It feels like it's a living, breathing aircraft. It's using the external flight model rather than being constrained to you know, the Asobo system, as it were. You've got the persistency, you've got everything that makes you feel that you own the aircraft. And here we are, this is our maiden flight in the new Golf Mike Sierra with our new repaint. And like I said, you can almost smell the leather. Not quite. God, I tell you what, it gets hot in this room in here. Doing these long flights with all the windows and the doors closed so that I don't drive my wife or the neighbour's potty. And wow, it's like a sauna. It really is. Excuse me, I'm just responding to a comment on the Sky Raider video that I did last night. There we go. If you're into your warbirds and you haven't seen it, I uploaded a video last night on the Miltech Blackbird Sky Raider, doing the opposite to this, which is low, fast, warbirdy kind of stuff, zipping around, doing all sorts of different things. Cheers, Kaiser Sausage. Take care. Have a good one. Sorry, got to go and take the Jeff shopping. I'm trying hard. I'm trying really hard, mate. I can't get that connection. I feel like I should know. Jeff. Is it rhyming slang? Is it a reference to a film? I know you're quite good with your references. Enlighten us. I was thinking Jeff Capes, which won't mean much to anyone who's young or anyone who's not from the UK. There we go. Can you hear the ATC? You must be able to. Now we've got some nice, I've got the premium voices turned on now, so we've got some nice regional accents. I've got to say though, the Billy Basic ones, which are free, weren't that bad. Can he complain? Girlfriend. Jeff. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that before. But then, with a handle Kaiser Sausage, you have got a very imaginative sense of humour. Jeff. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We'll have a good shopping trip. I hope that it involves some kind of food reward for yourself, like a pub lunch or something like that. What is the time? 12:46. Yeah. So we are estimated to arrive in Larnaca at 22 minutes past 1. Yeah, we're kind of just over half hour away. So the end is in sight, folks. The end is in sight. When the action will begin, and by then I'll have forgotten how to fly the aeroplane. But it's definitely interesting doing this kind of flying. The bit in between like this can get a little bit monotonous, but you know, it's when we get to Cyprus and we start seeing the ground and we have to think about the approach and all that sort of thing, that's when it gets really interesting. I would be interested to know. Okay, again, a question for the chat. There's a lot of people watching, but there's not many people talking. But I'd be interested to know. You're watching a stream of a guy flying over water on autopilot, and nothing really is happening at the moment. For a large portion of this flight, nothing is happening because we're just doing this. Is that the kind of stream that you want to see, or is that a stream? Is that a stream you would want to watch, or are you more interested in shorter kind of IFR ATC stuff, where there's more going on? Maybe a shorter flight, more action from the ATC because of the type of terrain that we're flying over or the area that we're flying through. I would be interested to know, because streaming always seems very one-sided to me in that. And the way I describe it, the way it feels to me, is like when you're a kid and you've got a console and you're playing on the console and all your mates are sitting behind you on the sofa watching, and they're all like thinking, oh, come on, just give us a go. Blimey, you've been on it for half an hour, give us a go. And I sometimes streaming feels a little bit like that. It's like I'm getting all the fun, you're just watching. But then you're watching out of choice, so I suppose, what am I talking about? But it interests me to know if you enjoy watching this kind of flying, only because it kind of gives me a steer as to whether this is the kind of thing I'd do much more of in future. This is quite a longish but quiet route, as it were, and especially flying over water. There is nothing to look at apart from those weird lines that Asobo can't seem to fix. So yeah, it's a little bit different. But tell me, regale me in the chat, offload to me what you think. Mike, thank you. I tend to watch these streams while flying the boring legs on my own flights. Love it. That's a good point. I mean, one of the things I like about streaming is the chat. So for me, it's kind of fun doing a flight like that, like this. If the chat's active, you know, if people are really talking, it's great, and the time can go by really quickly. And you know, you're just having a good flight. I've just had the thing come up on my monitor saying it's going to automatically turn off. No, you're not. So yeah, it's great to it's great for that. So I get it. If you're doing another flight and you've you know, if you can stand my waffling, then yeah, I guess it kind of takes up the time. So we can just see on the GTN there, we can see Cyprus has appeared on there. So we're not too far away. Where are we? We're 33 nautical miles from Vadis. Darth to his friends. Not funny. This is what happens when you end up flying for a long time over water doing nothing. You start finding the most stupid things funny that aren't. Check the engines, they're looking good. Mike, you are currently flying to where I lived for 9 years. Oh, fantastic. I don't know when you joined the stream, Mike, but I was just saying I was over in Cyprus for a few days at the beginning of the week. And I tend to go there once a year in the summer on holiday. Been going for a few years now and absolutely love it. And my old man, who's in the Air Force, used to go to Akrotiri a few times, so it's yeah, I like going to Cyprus. It's a nice place, people are nice, food's great, sunshine, crystal clear waters. What's not to like? This is the sort of stream I have on in the background while I'm at work and comment when someone... Okay, Binky. Okay, Binky, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I do the same actually. I did it a lot during lockdown. I'd be working from home here. I'm sitting at this desk, and I would have a stream on or something in the background. Yeah, it's just kind of something that's there, and then you chip in, join the conversation, and it's all good fun. Okay, so let's start thinking about this. Yeah, so we're about half an hour away at the moment. What I am going to do is just to pre-plan. I'm going to pick up the ATIS for Larnaca while we've got some time. So let's jump over here. Look at this, we're doing something now. Woohoo! Larnaca ATIS 126.550. So we'll go on to box 2. Let's lock off the head tracking. 126.550. That's what I wanted to check. I just wanted to listen to that again. So runway 22, which means that we are almost certainly not going to be flying the arrival that I originally have in the flight plan. So it'd be interesting to see what we get. They're almost certainly going to give us a different arrival. And I'm kind of glad that we're coming in on 2-2 as well, because that's the direction that I normally seem to always end up coming in at, flying in. So it'd be nice to do that. You do a nice kind of teardrop, head out over towards Decadia, the big old power station, and then you kind of do that teardrop and come round and land. Well, if all goes to plan. I'm hating those blooming lines in the water. That's really getting my goat today. It's really noticeable, isn't it? Why can't you fix it, DeSobo? Why? Oh, let me just lock that off. Oh, okay. You're at Akrotiri as well. Yeah, 2-2 over Larnaca Bay, exactly. Are you ever tempted to go back there, Mike, and settle? See, the temperatures come down a little bit, but it's probably still a little bit too hot. I'm just gonna give it another nudge. Fan on low. Okay, quick check of the engines. Yep, that's all good. That's fine. And like I said, this is Accu-Sim, so I'm not just doing that for the sake of it. One day, and that day may never happen. Something might go wrong, so we need to keep an eye on that. Fuel is good. It's just sipping the fuel. We're flying nice and leaned out for economy. Let's just, yeah, so got green and green, so yeah, that's doing quite nicely. Quick check of the electrical systems. I didn't show you this, did I? So yeah, you can see here, and this is all, this is, oh, I get so excited about Accu-Sim, because it's not just pretending to simulate, it's actually simulating. So all the different components are in there. It's so cool. This aircraft is so alive. It really is. Right. So we've done that. What was it? 10. I think it was 1013. They said the QNH. That's it. That's what I've written down anyway. So better bloody be right. Right. Blah 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 blah. Just getting the checklist up. So to remind myself, when we start going on approach, we need the boost pumps on. Mixture full rich, fuel selector on. Yep. That's all good. Okay, cool. I actually love it when you get to see Cyprus, when you fly in the daytime and you actually reach Cyprus, the colour of the ground, you can almost hear the waves lapping. See the condensation running down the outside of the glass, feel the gentle breeze coming in off the sea. Getting quite wistful. What's going on here? So our first, I stopped then because I thought something was going to happen. Yep, so that's fine. We're above 11,000. Let's just close that off. Mike, my son is nagging us to move over there. He was born out there. Oh, fantastic. We bought a sailboat earlier this year, so I might end up sailing there in the next year or two once I complete. Wow. Fantastic, Mike. That is what an experience. I've never done, that's a lie. I did a bit of sailing when I was younger, once in something with sails. I'm much more of an air than a sea person, but I can't even begin to imagine the experience of sailing. I'm assuming you're in the UK, so apologies if not, but taking a yacht from the UK round to Cyprus, I mean, think of what you'd see. God, you'd be going through the Straits of Gibraltar, through the Mediterranean. Wow, that would be one heck of a journey, wouldn't it? Yeah, my wife would quite like to retire to Cyprus when that day comes. It is a really nice place. I kind of have these two opposites when I think about it. I love the Highlands of Scotland, which is where I could easily retire to, up in the mountains and camping and the rubbish weather and all that sort of thing. Love it to bits, but then it's also quite nice coming to Cyprus. You can just see the coastline there. It's hidden a little bit by the murk. See it down there. Okay, right, I need to kind of start thinking about things and getting my head into it a little bit more. It's the problem with doing this kind of stuff. You get so relaxed because there's nothing happening, and then all of a sudden you have to do some flying. Okay. So, we know from checking the ATIS at Larnaca that we're probably going to be given a different we're going to have a different arrival, so I've got to be ready for that. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn the ATC up a bit. I can't hear it. Oh, that's on the maximum there. It must be on my... Oh, I know. It's on my setup. It's on my mixer. It's interesting when you have the premium set on, so that you've got the regional accents. You have to listen that bit more. The time it got me into sailing, my brain started to... Yeah, you've got to have something, haven't you? Definitely. My plan is, I mean, I'm still probably about 12, 13 years off retirement, believe it or not. My plan is that if I'm still flight simming and still YouTubing by then I'm just going to go absolutely into it and just create lots of content and learn new skills, and that will give me something to keep my brain going. There is the beautiful island of Cyprus. Let's quickly switch to the map so you can see. So here we are. So we're going to be coming in from the north, and at some point soon we are going to be told what our arrival is, because it's not going to be the one that we are on at the moment. So I'm hoping we're going to get that fairly soon. It would be good to know what the plan is. Keyed up for the runway. Right in the right place, there we go. Yeah. Binky getting up every day, getting up at 4:30 AM every day is wearing a bit thin. Wow. I bet. Hopefully, Binky, though, that means that you are not having to work too late, unless you've got some awful commute that makes you do that. There you go. And look at that. It's looking at the ground now. That is so damn realistic. That is just what it's like flying in. I could be there now. There's the coast. So realistic. The sim sometimes just puts you right there. You can almost smell the charcoal burning. Spoken to. Okay. Expect Bone 1 Alpha, runway 22, Golf Mike Sierra. So, it's still the same approach. Sorry, arrival. But it's now 22. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to quickly do. Let's bang in the ILS frequency 112.8. Anything you can do ahead of time. It just makes life so much easier. Okay. See what else I'm going to do. I'm going to say we're going to do the ILS 22. So he's been given the ILS X-ray 22. So it'd be interesting to see what we get. I've just loaded in the ILS 22. See if we get vectors. I'm going to take a guess that we're going to be transition SOBOS actually. We'll see. It might vector us. Yeah. I'm trying to save time by just getting a few things loaded in. So there we go. We have our nice come out over the coast here, head back to Cadia, big power station there, and then whack it in there. Technical term. Apologies for that. Okay, so we're kind of preempting as much as we can, but who knows? We might well get something something different. We shall see. Right. Let's quickly go on to here. Got tired of the corporate rat race and going to work being lectured what to think. I'm too old school. Yeah. 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 Bone 1 Alpha, runway 22, and we are ready for descent. Golf Mike Sierra. Descend to 7,000 feet at QNH 1013 Golf Mike Sierra. So, QNH is by some... It's crept a little bit. There we go. So that's good. So we're going to go down to 7,000. Oh, we've got a traffic warning. Look at that. Look at that. Close. So now we can come back on the power. Let's get rid of that. We'll go to attitude. And I'm going to point the nose down a bit. So I'm holding in the attitude switcheroo. Going to point it there. Come back on the power. And we're heading down to 7,000. It's so exciting. We're actually doing stuff. Things are happening. Love it. Let me just hold that there. What did I get to? Binky, I have 140 mile an hour. 40 mile an hour. Sorry, that's me. I misread it. I have a 140 mile a day round trip commute. Yes, I've had similar to that in the past. Absolutely hated it, but I didn't have to get up that early, thank God. I work in the film industry. It's fairly cutthroat at the best times. I'll leave it to the youngsters. I've earned to rest after all these years. Yeah. Do you know, it's funny. I don't know if it's work. It's so easy that work can get like that, isn't it? It's a shame. It really is a shame. But you're certainly in an interesting industry, that's for sure. Pue 9775. Hello, welcome to the stream. Watch the ETA to the airport. Well, at the moment it looks like the ETA is 21 minutes past 1. But I'm not sure how accurately. Navigraph Charts calculates that, but that's what it's saying at the moment. I think we're probably going to be a bit longer than that. Oh, here we go. They were talking to us. QNH 1013. Expect the RNAV 22 with the OTESA transition. Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, I wasn't expecting that approach. So let's go back here and approach. What's it? RNAV 22. Tessa transition. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and 1013 is still in the box. That's good. Okay. So I need to change my approach over here. RNAV 22. Interesting. So my Navigraph charts for that. Oh, let's try here. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Looking in the wrong place. Coolio. Okay, so that's all set up on that side. That's all good. We're just coming to 8,000 and we are talking feet now because that's what ATC was talking to us about, but it just so happens the QNH is the same as standard barometric, so that's all good. Okay, let's get into some semblance of pilotage. Down there, look at that. Oh, that is what Cyprus looks like. It's incredible. The detail is just amazing. Damn, I wish I was back here. There's the Troodos Mountains.
Apollo 1163. Contact Larnaca Tower 121.2. Have a good
Okay. So. Oh, brilliant. Descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1013 Golf Mike Sierra. So we can just keep that descent in. I'm just going to... clear direct Atessa, cross Atessa at or above 5,000 feet, cleared RNAV 22 Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, so we can go direct to Atessa now, which is fine because that's where we're actually heading. And 5,000 feet is our next vertical check. As I said some time ago, by the way, a lot of the times when I'm doing this sort of thing and I'm talking to myself just to remember everything that I need to remember, and just checking with myself. So please don't think I'm trying to lecture you. I know a lot of you know how all this stuff works anyway, and you know what you're doing. A lot of this is just for me to make sure my brain is in the right place. Okay, so we are approaching Larnaca now. We've got some nasty clouds. Get out of the way, cloud. Won't be able to hit the beach for a beer if this is around. Now I'm hoping at this... I'm interested to see what happens at this point. I'm hoping it's going to switch onto the approach. Okay, which it hasn't. So, back, procedure. There we go. I kind of thought it was going to automatically switch to it, but it didn't, but that's alright. That's where the pilot earns his pay because he keeps his eyes on it. I mean, that is Cyprus. Mike, if you're still there. Isn't that Cyprus? Okay. Just keeping an eye on things.
Cyprus 107. Contact Larnaca Tower 121.2. Have a good afternoon. Larnaca Tower 121.2. Cyprus 107.
Okay, I'm going to bang the landing lights on now. I'm also going to put the fuel boost on. Let's have a quick check. We can enrich, and in fact I'm going to go mixture fully rich now. Possibly a little bit earlier on that. Need to level out at 5. Full pressure a little bit, quick check around, quick check of the engines. That's all good. Have a quick check the ATS again. ATS? ATS. Ain't a car rental, boy. Yeah.
Larnaca Airport information, Oscar. 1306 Zulu. Wind 125 at 6. Visibility 10 miles or more. Few clouds at 2500. Temperature 24. 2.17. QNH 1013. Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 110.
Okay. That's good. good. It is quite misty murky. Yeah, they are, Mike. Do you know what, we haven't done it in a few years, but something we always used to do was we'd hire a car and we'd get one day at least and kind of head off to a village. And the last one that we did, we went off into the mountains, and it was quite stunning, you know, literally coming from the beach, lazing around like a walrus, sipping drinks, and suddenly you're driving up in the mountains. Really was quite beautiful. So there we go. I want to say that in this version of the sim, the power station is there, but I'm
Vertical track.
not entirely sure. I'm not so sure. I thought maybe I'd seen it, but maybe not. There is a cracking fish and chip shop, by the way, at Decadia. Really nice, and it's not on the restricted area, but it's yeah. If you fancy a bit of fish and chips, we've driven there a couple of times, and yeah, it's good. Anyway, you didn't come here for the fish and chips chat. Right, we should really be descending at this point. Suddenly realised we're so busy chatting. I'm just going to double check, sense check myself. Because we have been cleared on here and we need to start losing some height. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's do something different. I'm going to take it off autopilot. Yeah, exactly. That's it, Mike. You got it. Do. Is that? Am I imagining it? Yeah, there's the power station. There it is. You can just see the. Contact Larnaca Tower 121.2 Golf Mike Sierra. Larnaca Tower, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra with you on the RNAV runway 22 approach. I was going to say what I'm descending to, but I'm just following the approach.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra Larnaca Tower, continue.
Continue, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, there's the runway up ahead, we can see it. I've pulled in the curve a little bit, let's have some trim. There we go, just check my head tracking a little bit there.
Vertical track.
Back on the power. Self gear down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would kindly flick your trays into the upright position, stub out your cigarettes, and stop hanging out the window, everything's going to be okay. I've got the sim sounds quite low in my ears, so it's a little bit disconcerting, but we have got 3 greens. So that's all good. Right, let's get the old checklist up. Boost pumps are on, yes. Mixture full rich, yes. Concentrate on that. Yep, okay. Right, let's get rid of you. Don't want to get distracted by that. Let's have a little bit of flappage. Look at the sun gleaming over there. Oh, we've made it. We're here.
Larnaca Tower, Aegean 489 on a runway 22.
Be nice to have landing clearance.
Aegean 489, Larnaca Tower, continue. Wilco, Aegean 489.
Finals for runway 22, Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, unable runway change at this time.
I'm not, I just want clearance, mate.
500.
I just want clearance to land. I'm going to come in.
Aegean 489, wind 125 and 6, runway 22 cleared to land.
So he's cleared someone else to land.
Runway 22 cleared to land, Aegean 489.
Wonder why he's not cleared me to land.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, go around, fly runway center line, maintain 1,500 feet.
Going around, fly runway centerline, maintain 1,500 feet, Golf Mike Sierra. That has never happened to me before.
Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact negotiate radar 12.2.
Contact Nicosia radar 124.2. I've never had a go around before. I don't even know what to say.
Cyprus for 63. We are showing a slight discrepancy in your altitude. Please confirm altitude.
Cyprus 463, confirming 8,300 feet.
Copy that. Cyprus for 63. Thanks for the clarification.
Nicosia radar, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on go around from runway 22. I don't know what to say.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Say altitude.
Okay. Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra maintaining 1,500 feet. Because that's what he told me to climb to.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Welcome back. Continue.
Welcome back. Continuing Golf Mike Sierra. So we're just following the missed approach, hoping to get something. This is one of those situations where it's just interesting to see what ATC does. Never had a go around before. Really interesting. Sorry if I'm not looking at the chat at the moment. I'm just trying to concentrate a little bit. Being in a new situation like this, it's interesting to see what's going to happen. Left heading 145, Golf Mike Sierra. There we go, 145.
Austrian 80 Tango Bravo, contact Larnaca Tower 121.2. Over to Tower 121.2, Austrian 80 Tango Bravo. Cyprus for 63, leave D270J heading 055. Expect radar vectors for ILS Yankee runway 22.
I've had my first ever go around. How cool. Actually, it does make you realise that you need to practice things like this, so that when they actually happen, you know what the hell to do, rather than just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to say, oh, I've been told I'm on a go around, Gov. I don't know what you want me to do. Back over the water again. Left heading 045 and expect further clearance in 22 miles, Golf Mike Sierra. Blimey, they are really streaming us around. I was hoping to have me lunch by now. Then they'll be saying, you have been diverted to Rhodes. No! Just checking the altitude bus there. Yes, Mike, I just wanted, I loved the bay so much, I wanted another look. Hell, we'll just go all the way to Ayia Napa. I'll land on the beach. But honestly, that is just what it's like. That view over there just reminds me of so many flights that I've made into Larnaca. By the way, Mike, there's some really good Akrotiri scenery as well, which I've got, but obviously we're not going there. And you may even have it, but Nick B007 did a really nice Larnaca scenery pack for the sim. Check it of everything. It's all looking good. So let's have a look. So hopefully they're going to kind of feed us in, back in again. We're almost doing a very wide circuit, aren't we?
Cyprus for 63, turn right, heading 105.
But probably having to sequence us in.
Cyprus for 63.
Cyprus for 63,
And I wonder also, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I wonder if because you're a little,
Cyprus for 63.
you know, a little GA aircraft, I wonder if it gives you less priority, perhaps.
Contact Beirut radar 119.3, Golf Air 026.
Let's adjust the heading a little bit. Drifted off slightly as I've been looking around. Higher napper on the nose. Cape Greco right over there.
Turn right, heading 185, 1,500 feet until established.
Can we come, please? Can we come home?
Cyprus for 63.
Cyprus for 63, contact Larnaca Tower 121.2, bye-bye.
Over to tower 121.2. Cyprus for 63.
Come on. Come on, vector is in. Don't leave us hanging.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, turn left, heading 020.
Left heading 020 Golf Mike Sierra. I love it. When the ATC works, when it works, it's just a joy. It really is. When you actually kind of sense its thinking and it's doing what it's meant to do, it's an absolute joy. And I kind of like this feeling that we're being vectored around now to fit in with traffic.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, turn left, heading 335.
Left heading 335 Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, 8 miles from Book 502, turn left, heading 250, maintain 1,500 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV runway 22.
Left heading 250, maintain 1,500 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV 22 Golf Mike Sierra. Yes. Starting to get a bit dark, isn't it? Certainly feels like that. Okay, there's the power station. Drop off for some fish and chips. And let's Here we come. There we go, right over the power station. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Liner 638. Contact Alpha Tower 130.625. Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Contact Larnaca Tower 121.2.
Contact Tower 121.2 Golf Mike Sierra. I didn't say anything. Wow, he was there before me. Continuing, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. It's interesting. He read my mind.
Cyprus 107, monitor ground 119.4.
Ground 119.4, Cyprus 107.
This is not really what I want to be doing at this stage. There we go. I just realised I'd reloaded the approach. Okay, back on the power. Let's not forget the obvious things.
GN52 Romeo, runway 22, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 22, the GN52 Romeo.
Please clear me to land this time. I'm actually...
2 Romeo, Larnaca Tower, wind 115 at 8, runway 22, clear for takeoff, traffic 4 mile final, keep it rolling.
I hope that's me that he's talking about.
Cleared for takeoff, keep it rolling, the GN52 Romeo.
Finals runway 22, Golf Mike Sierra. Just to remind him.
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, unable runway change at this time.
I'm not asking you to change. Let's dangle the Dunlops. Trim, trim, trim.
$500.
Good. Trim, trim, trim. Come on, give me clearance.
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, go around, fly runway center line, maintain 1,000.
Okay, I am not going to do that because I need to come off the sim. But I wonder what's going on. I wonder what's causing that. We could spend hours doing this, getting vectored around.
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, go around, fly runway center line, maintain 1,500 feet.
Negative. Always forget about the steering.
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, Larnaca Tower.
Sorry, Larnaca Tower, we didn't have time and we've got fish and chips waiting for us, so we just landed anyway. Sorry, old boy.
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, contact Nicosia radar 12 for decimal 2. Talk to you in a minute.
That's frustrating. It's never done that to me before. But there's obviously some weird quirk. I don't know if maybe there's too much traffic and it's having trouble fitting in a little GA aircraft with all the other traffic that's going on.
Romeo, contact Nicosia radar 12 for decimal 2.
If you've got any theories, by the way,
Contact Nicosia radar 124.
I would love to know.
GN52 Romeo, bye-bye.
I'm so out of practice steering with switches instead of rudder. Okay, I'm going to shut down BeyondATC now, because otherwise they're just going to keep shouting. Look at that. Here we are. We're home. We're home, Mike. Yeah, my beer is getting warm. If you switch the frequency before BeyondATC registers your response, it's reading minds. If you switch frequency before it registers your response. Oh, okay. Understood. I've kind of gone past the GA area, just realised because I've been trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So we will pretend that we are a tube liner. It's interesting how we were getting batted around by ATC, but there's nothing on the ground, is there? You'd almost think that ATC or the pattern or whatever was so busy that they couldn't fit us in, they couldn't give us a landing, but there's absolutely no reason why we couldn't have landed then. So I'm curious as to what went wrong, whether it's just a some kind of weird thing going on with this particular scenery, or just bad luck. I don't know, but weird. Right, let's just pull up on a gate and have done with it. There was me going on about how I love it when ATC just works. We won't be needing the walkway, old boy. And let's wing it round because we're GA. There we go. And plop. Right. Let's get the parking brake on. I should have turned the landing lights off, but I was still, and I'm still trying to figure out what went wrong with that. Why did ATC keep routing us around? Okay. How very odd. Okay, let's have everything off. In, boop, lower off. That's all good, happy with that. We can have nav, beacon, all this stuff off now. Alternators obviously off, and battery off. And it all goes quiet. Anyway, well, there you go. Bit of weirdness at the end there, which is I'm probably going to spend the next hour or so trying to figure out what went wrong there, why it kept telling us to go around. Usually it's pretty much clockwork. You know, you get the landing clearance and all that sort of thing, but there was something going on there. Maybe it was just bad luck, bad phasing with other traffic. There was an aircraft on the runway that he was kind of telling you to get a wiggle on, saying that there was traffic 4 miles out, which must be us. So you could see he was thinking in terms of that, but then obviously gave us the go around. So had I had more time, if I wasn't streaming and I wasn't meant to be having some lunch and keeping other people waiting, I would have probably given that another try just to see what happens. But not on this occasion. Not on this occasion. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure having you along. Thanks to everyone. Cleftico and a plethora of Keo, absolutely. Thanks to everyone who joined the chat. It's been really interesting. Always makes a difference, especially on a flight like this where there's not much else going on, to have some good people in the chat. So yeah, if you're on Discord, you may have seen the link being bandied around in the chat there, so come along and say hello. But otherwise, thanks for joining. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.